Everybody, welcome to my stream. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my stream today. I realized that I didn't have things set up correctly today, and there was some kind of sound issue, I think. But anyway, I'll try to fix it. I mean, as such, too, you can see behind me. This is my screen that I'm using is Siberia, not Siberia. That's Chicago. It was very cold the past few days. So if you are in the Midwest or near Chicago, you have definitely experienced the winter cold. And yeah, this time it was very cold. Let me tell you, some of you are in Celsius land. So that was like minus 24, I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. But the coldest too, I think was minus 24. And then wind chill. Here's the thing. Wind chill is what makes you feel even colder, and that was like minus 38 Celsius, because I was calling my sister who lives in Hong Kong, and I told her, and she was like, oh my gosh. So Fahrenheit, it was minus 35 for Fahrenheit for wind chill, and temperature was like minus I think it was like 13 or 14 minus, below for Fahrenheit, and then was minus 24 for Celsius. I think that's right? Yeah, that's right, because Celsius too. I mean, I can never quite remember exactly the formula, but it's either 5 nines, plus multiplied by the temperature and then plus 32 or something. But so anyway, the point is that it doesn't matter. It was very cold. I hope where you are isn't too cold. And actually, good news is that it is that Arctic air mass coming from the north is finally letting up. So that's, thank God. I mean, like this afternoon, in fact, I stepped outside for 5 seconds and it was just much bearable. I think this afternoon for Fahrenheit is roughly 15 Fahrenheit. So that's still like minus, I think that would be minus, I don't know. Like I'm trying to kind of think too. 15 for Fahrenheit should be roughly minus 10, maybe. So anyway, that's the scenario. And let me kind of double check, making sure. Okay, looks like it is, my voice is working. So I think for some reason when I was trying to play that in the main introductory, I think I didn't set up the audio correctly, so that's why. Anyway, thank you again for joining me today. But as it turns out too, I totally forgot I have some meeting today in about half hour, but because I finally got this resolved, I was having some issue that the video wasn't playing correctly, and then the audio. But I basically decided, well, audio, I'm not going to all be fixing it in terms of, audio for the external feed for the music part. Except now I think it's okay. But so anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that, I just wanted to do a quick introduction, because the company I work for, DataStax, right, and based in California, and we are now a essentially ChatGPT AI company, because we have, we manage data, right? As you know, some of you, if you're working with Apache Cassandra, this is the commercial company that is basically leveraging on the open source Apache Cassandra to kind of provide service for our customers. And also we have a managed cloud platform, which I've shown in the past, with Astra database. So actually, you know what? Let me kind of quickly show that to you. And then today too was exciting, because let's take a look at this, right? Okay, let me kind of adjust myself so then I don't block you guys. Okay, so let me kind of go at the side now. So essentially too, it says one-stop data API. Actually, when I look at it, right, I'm aware of the team working on it, and essentially it's JSON. Used to be called JSON API, but I think to make it more, kind of, so to speak, like usable, more generalized, right? It's basically, this is essentially allowing you, it's an API that allows you to work with our Astra database platform. So that's the Apache Cassandra underneath the hood, easier, right, to build applications through kind of more like a unified API layer. And also too, there are language interfaces that supports like Python clients, or Python, JavaScript, and also with Java as well. So I know I've mostly been working with Java, but I think I do have to say that, in the past month or two, since I started to getting deeper into machine learning, into generative AI. In fact, I'm also like have to start working with more and more, the other so to speak, right, non-Java, but kind of more machine learning kind of popular languages such as Python, no doubt about that, and then also JavaScript. So I'll be trying to also do those. But I think, I feel that, as such as they are not new to me. It's not like brand new. I mean, I was a computer science major and math too. So to me, it's like, okay, it's just a way of interfacing to do computing. So, and it just so happened that I was doing mostly Java before, and it's still good. Don't get me wrong. I think, folks, if you're in Java, you know that it is powerful as a backend support, kind of giving all of that to you. So, I'm not going to say favor one thing or the other, but I think, what is important is that we understand the strengths and the weaknesses of each language and use them to apply it accordingly. So anyway, this is, if you go to our datastax.com and you'll be able to see this, right? So let me do this one thing. And okay, and let's see. Let me show that to you. Hold on a sec. Where is it? And here, I wanted to kind of like set that for you, text. Okay, here, where is it? I need to show that to you. Let me see. Let me see. Add new. Okay, it's kind of funny. This thing is kind of okay. Here we go. Datastax.com. So this is the one, right? Datastax.com, and you go there and you'll be able to see it. Let me kind of put it in a place where it's easier for you to see. So DataStax.com, if you go there, you'll be able to see that today. In fact, we released and announced and released this data API is like GA, right? Is basically ready for your production need. So I'm kind of excited too, because I think that's what the power of API is, right? Application Programmers Interface, and essentially to allow us to kind of talk, kind of how do you actually work with the systems behind the scenes. So this sort of, think of it more like a unifying interface. And you can, if you're Java or Python or JavaScript programmers, you're in luck, because that's what we support right now. And also there's a command, you can use command line like curl commands to also work with it too. So I'll be excited to kind of take a look at it. So, but first of all too, like before I forget, right, there's and this morning, by the way, too, I spoke at a conference called We Are Developers. And let me show that to you, because I think will be interesting for you too, if you are interested, because it's recorded. And as such too, if you've been, if you got to know me because of me doing a conference talk, and I have given this talk at a few places already, but this morning too, let me show that to you, because if you are kind of more like the deep, kind of Java developers, and you're interested in some other topics, actually this morning, let me show that to you. Let me where is it? Okay, let me do this one thing. Let me go over here. So this morning's Java Developer Day, and that's what is was being kind of all saved up. I mean, essentially to all recorded, I should say. So you can actually go to this website, and then there are folks doing other talks too. Like these folks are actually mostly, I believe they are in Germany, and a few maybe European countries. And actually, Johannes, actually, I met him. This guy, he's a cool guy, young guy, and talking about debugger internals. He's very good. He works for SAP, if I'm, yeah, that's right. He works for SAP in Germany. So I also did the talk on Enter the Brave New World of Generative AI with Vector Search. And so kind of received some good review too. So if you want, go over here. And that's how you can kind of watch it. Let me share that with you. Let me go over here. And let me do this one thing. Let me share that with you. And where did it go? Like, it's interesting when I kind of put things in here. Okay. So this is where it is. So you can take a look at this. And if you're, just go to wearedevelopers.com. They also have other track too. So today they call Java developer. And interestingly, I'm kind of making a transition, right? But I think that's how I feel like with AI, it's going to bring all of these different languages closer together. We are really truly solving problems and using whatever languages that anybody is kind of comfortable in, and then they're uniform kind of API that perhaps a different language interface to it, but essentially doing the same thing, right? You're trying to do a connection to, let's say, to an LLM, and to OpenAI, to also leveraging on, for example, if you're ChatGPT developers, there's LangChain, the very popular library for doing Gen AI type of application, and then Llama Index from Meta, Hugging Face, right? And folks, I kind of talk about Hugging Face, I think, in my last one. So all these, it has interface into those. So yeah, so without further ado, why don't I kind of go there? But in the meantime, if you're interested, this is the link where you can get to my recording of the Java Developer Day this morning, Central Time, but it's already recorded. So please consider going there and visiting. Okay, let me now go ahead. Let's take a quick look, because I'm having a meeting in 15 minutes, so I won't be able to talk for too long today. But my plan, though, is to start working on it and actually pick up a case and kind of leverage on, see how easy it is to use this data API. Maybe I'll try it with Python tomorrow. How about that? Python or JavaScript, because I believe those are somewhat of an easier to kind of get ahead, because otherwise with Java, it's true, you do need to set up class path and all those things, and perhaps not as many folks are kind of prefer, right, kind of using that. So okay, so let's take a look, right? So start for free. So basically, too, you can go into using our database first, right? And I think I've already shown this previously. So if you want to sign up for it, you can sign up using your Google account or GitHub, or just simply give your first name, last name, and your email address, and then just check the box, I agree, the agreement, and you are in, and then you can access our database. But in our case, what I'll do, I don't know why they direct it in here, but let's go back in here. Let's kind of do the learn more first. Vector search for real world Gen AI. And this is kind of a little bit of a interesting in here. Let me kind of move it over there. And over here, so also too, there's a webinar too, is more from our product manager next week. I think the 24th, there's also a webinar. So if you go over here, there's a registering for the preview. I'm not sure why they do that. There's actually, like I said, I wanted to show that to you. Hold on, sorry. I think if you go over to the first page, and there's also GA. That's why if you go over here, yeah, this is the one I wanted to show you. There's actually a blog post by the product managers, Val, good guy. I met him, and also then Silas too. I didn't meet Silas yet, but Silas is more leading the user experience team. So both of them wrote this article and explained this new data API, what it is and how do you use it. But first of all, because this data API is allowing you to connect to use our Astra database. So again, you do need to have an Astra managed cloud platform first in order to be able to use it, kind of utilize it. So again, with this free tier access Astra database, you can get $25 of free tier usage per month, and that's actually quite sufficient, I have to say. As long as you're not doing something production kind of size, and you just doing your experiment, little small projects and like that, that will be sufficient for $25. If you use it up for the month, don't worry. The next month you get another refresh of another 25. So that's what it is. And okay, so if you go here, and then there's a webinar, and where is it? They talk about a webinar. I think it's over here, and somewhere in here. Announce, and I saw it somewhere, and now all of a sudden I'm looking for it, and then I can't find it. But folks, trust me, let's go back. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is there we go. The top in here, see that? Live stream, right? So WikiChat built a rank app on Wikipedia in real time with LangChain, Vercel, and AstraDB. So Alex is our product marketing product marketing product manager. And then also, I think with LangChain, I don't know who that is, somebody from LangChain in here that he's working with. Oh, here we go, Jacob. Jacob is also a founding software engineer. So yeah, so consider joining this too. Let me kind of quickly share this with you in here, and let me kind of oops. Where is it? I update something. This thing. Okay, here we go. Can you see okay? I think somehow the color I'm picking is not showing up too good in here, or is it? But in any event, if you go to our datastax.com and then you go over here, there should be a live stream, and that's again for next week, the 24th. It's exactly a week from today, and that's at 10 a.m. like Pacific time, which is at Eastern time. If you go by that, is 1 p.m. So middle of the day on Wednesday. So it shouldn't be too late for Europe. If you're in Europe, should be in the evening time, 8, 9, 10, depending on where exactly you are located. Or if you are in the Pacific region, that would also be an okay time, I think, right? Is that right? I'm trying to think too. 10. If it is, let's say Singapore, it should be roughly like 11 o'clock in the morning. Japan, all these, and so okay. So that's that, and so you can give that a try. But let's go take a look. I've been like kind of eager to take a look to see what this API is too. Okay, and let me do this one thing and hide this so it won't bother us. But okay, let's go back to our DataStax kind of product kind of information. You go to DataStax products, and the product, actually, resource. From the resource, you can go to docs, and so the doc should refresh itself. So over here too, that's what it is, right? You can take a look, and let me kind of take a look at the data API. I do have to say we have so many things now, and it may not be as easy to find stuff. But then, where is it? Data RagStack? As you know, RagStack, by the way, is an opinionated kind of stack that helps you to build also generative AI type of application. I don't think it is leveraging on the data API in there. I haven't looked that closely. They might be kind of using an older version. I haven't looked yet, but anyway, I'm excited about data API because now it kind of should make it a little easier. Like, let's say I'm also developing some kind of experimentation with other companies, right? Because as such too, each company, we have products that would specialize in certain things. They can't be doing everything. Like DataStax, we're specializing more into the vector database storage, all of these things. But then we work so well too with other libraries that are ChatGPT type of apps like LangChain in here, or Llama Index I talk about, and Hugging Face, all of these, and also JLlama. Actually, that's the Java open source project to developed by our chief architect Jake too. And then all of these, by the way, to underneath the hood is that powers the Cassandra is really JVector, is the pure Java implementation, and implement this very efficient disk approximate nearest neighbor algorithms too. That's actually is a Microsoft and disk and that we use to kind of power it, and it's through the library called JVector. I know there's like a mouthful of things, but trust me. So I'm hoping to give you more of those information if you are interested. And those are kind of dealing, JVector deals more with the internals. So let's take a look. I was kind of talking about all of these things. So let's go to DataStax documentation. There should be data API. Why am I not finding it? Okay, here we go. Don't worry about it. Let's go back to the main one. I think if you go to learn more, explore the docs, that's where it gives it. So, okay, so this is the one. Actually, we'll get started with the data API. And this one is actually data. Okay, go to API vector. There we go. API reference, vector database, data API introduction. This is the one. So let me kind of. I should actually, what you call it. Uh, Kind of have a QR code for you at some point, but let me do that. But for now, let me show that to you. So this is the one, right? If you go to our doc, datastax.com, and then you basically have to just follow go to the site that says vector database, the data API. You should be able to say explore the doc. So this one, that's what it is, as you kind of see above here. API reference data API. So again, there is foundational vector API for Astra DB serverless databases, right? So first of all, too, in order to play around with it, right, we do need to make sure we have right now we have what you call it we're gonna have database. Oh wait, let me hold on a sec in here. Okay, so hold on, I'm actually not seeing things quite right, so hold on for a second. Okay, here we go, and here we go. Because it's blocking me. Okay, so if you kind of take a look into it, right, so this is it, and you kind of take a look, data API introduction, but we want to be able to write code in Python, TypeScript, and JavaScript, or Java too. So the data API examples in Postman too. So let's take a look at this as well. Okay, well, anyway, this one is our Stargate. So we also have some examples in here. So it is what is called, you need to first create the collection with vector, find the collection, and then insert data. How do we find data? All of these things will be in here. So that's what we're going to try out tomorrow. How about that? Okay, so let's kind of, right now, let's kind of go back in here. So we can use that. And also to command line, you can use curl to do it as well. So essentially, too, these are kind of all in there, and you should be able to kind of use Swagger as well. Try it out functionality in Swagger to do that as well. So again, we do need to set up an Astra database first. So then you have the endpoint. You should be able to then plug it in. So, okay. Let me do this one thing. I think I'm having a meeting in 5 minutes, and I'm hoping, I totally forgot about it until I was like checking, and then I said, oh, wait a minute, I actually have that. So, okay, so so in this case, I won't be able to actually work on anything else. So I like to ask you to sign up for an Astra account, and again, going to astra.datastax.com, sign up for the database first. But let me kind of quickly show you too. So in my case, right, I can just sign in with my Google account. I already have it. So I know sometimes I wanted to tell folks too, even for me, when I first started as a programmer, I actually didn't really favor too much of a database application. I do feel like, dealing with data, I wanted to deal with the algorithms that work on the data. But yet, as I'm kind of becoming more a mature developer, I realize how important data is. It's really like gold, for any company. So, but it's not like any data. I mean, data is data. It comes in, in bulk, so to speak. So it's like mining gold, right? So that's kind of like that. You can have a mountain full of gold, but they are nuggets, small little pieces. You need to kind of dig for it. But of course, not the same in this case. But basically, through us doing computing, we're trying to extract the most important information. Is different kind of gold nuggets in here that deal with. So anyway, you can kind of take a look into here. Try to prepare yourself, create a vector database, and create a serverless vector database. So all you need to do in this case is, let's say I have Twitch. I call it like Twitch DB. And then let's say I use Google Cloud or Azure. Let's do Google Cloud. I usually like to use that because I use, it's just a bit easier for me, but you can do anything. But then you can just say create database. Okay, so in my case, is expectant database limit reach, because in my account, I already have a vector database created. So it doesn't let me create more than one. So let's say you already have one, just go ahead to use it, or if not, create that. And then as you can see over here too, I have my December 23rd Azure. I think I don't know if I kind of use it in my in my previous session in here. Maybe that's where it was. So from here, as you can see, it's becoming a lot more easier to use. I really kind of give a lot of credits to our developers and designers, product managers, to make this a lot more friendlier to use. So in this case too, you could also, like, as you can see, it shows you the metric, and then there are also what is called collection. Collection is where you actually create all of the data. That's why it's called collection, and that's what is being referred to, because these are the vector database. And then we also create, I've kind of created this morning, and it's 300 dimensions. You use cosine similarity metric and how many records, because I don't have data yet, but I can do a load data. But you can also, the nice thing about this is that you can actually download the sample data set. And then from here, it downloaded a CSV file like movie, OpenAI. So I can select that and go to here, and select that, and then open it. And here it is. It will load up like 100 rows of data, of movie data that we can start playing with. So, okay, so in my case, though, I do have to say, like 30 minutes is up. I'm just about ready to have to go to that other meeting. But if you have any questions, please ask me now. But as you can see, it quickly loads up all of the data. As you can see, all these different movie information. Basically, it says, oh, the embedding has 1,536 dimension and the collection requires 300. So there's some issue here. So let's kind of like look into that tomorrow, okay? So if you want to start playing around with it, like the Astra account, if you haven't already done so, if you have, by the time you have it, then please create a vector database and you can start looking into this using, the different data sets, sample data set to kind of play around with things. So, okay, so with that, wanting to thank you so much for having joined me. This is a very short one, again, because of all my little issues here and there with my setup, but wanting to thank you again for bearing with me, and please follow me too. And I have actually, let me see, I have my Discord server. Just wanting to share with you. Like to keep in touch with you if you like. We can have more further conversations. I have different folks coming to me, and I apologize if I cannot answer you right away, but I would love to be chatting with you and understanding the problems that you're solving. And we can, if you like, you can come onto, I can invite you, and then you can show your project. We can also share with us, everybody, about how you solve your problems, especially in the generative AI space too. Okay, so with that, I want to thank you very much, and want to invite you again to come. And okay, so you take care. Okay, goodbye.